Hello you beautiful people, welcome back to the Like Place video. Today I want to talk to you about artifacts on Gogomuffin. Now, if you're a tank or a healer, this might be slightly different. This video is really aimed at DPS players specifically. So, I'm not going to say look away because you might find some information that's like still relevant, hopefully, I'd like to believe. But if you're a DPS, stick around, we're going to hopefully be showing you some really cool stuff. Some of this you may already know, some of this might be new, so I recommend just staying to the end. Right, so artifacts. Let's actually start in camp where we can click on the artifacts themselves. Artifacts, I've clicked on the wrong thing. This is how I always do it. Welcome to a Hyper Plays video, people. So, here we are. Artifacts actually come in different realms depending on where you are in the game. You will start at Dark Moon Forest, then as you progress, you'll unlock Atra Volcano, Oasis Lures, Burning Tower, and then it's gonna be a while before we get here, but Nightless City is coming soon. So you can get the energy from these locations. I'm not going to babble on about how to make artifacts. Let's talk about the artifacts themselves. So, what is the optimal way to level up artifacts? What is the best artifacts to keep as a DPS, and which one should you be working on, right? So, to begin with, firstly, every single artifact you have, I like to sort by resonance level. You can come to the top and you can actually change based on stats, based on quality, whatever it is that you want, you can sort of do from here. If you do it by quality, you'll see that, you know, over the course of time, you will slowly get all your artifacts up. I think if you're a brand new player, a free-to-play, someone that's starting the game new, I would aim to get all your artifacts to +3 and then to +9. Sorry, +6, not 9. Go 3 to 6. That's a big jump to go to 9. Right. Once you hit level 6, once you hit that magical number level 6, you really have two progression paths. I think most people need to probably sort by stats, most likely here, and have a look at these economical effect ones. These ones are really, really good, and most of them are actually worth taking up a notch, potentially to like 7. If you feel there is value here, you could definitely take them up to 7. But if you're a DPS and you're out to do some huge damage, you would not be looking at this. Instead, you'll be jumping to artifact bonds. This is really important. And I mean, when you are leveling, you should probably be leveling with this in mind. Get the bonds done first, and then upgrade everything else to 6. So this is, if you're at +6 all artifacts at this point, you now need to start +9ing your artifacts. And how do you decide which artifacts you take to +9? For a DPS, so I'm talking Shadow Lashes, the Archer class, and the Mage class, you are going to want to prioritize this damage dealt stat. This damage dealt stat is going to be pivotal, and building this up over time is going to be massive on your damage. So, long term, this is the stat you want to work on. So for me, I'll run through and I'll find everything that has good damage. Personally, I like to just go from the top. The reason I like to go from the top is because if we actually have a look at some of the later islands, say this one for example, and we go down to damage, the damage stat itself, you only get 1% for getting these to +9. And you can see it's 6 artifacts and you only get 1%. Whilst upgrading the earlier content, so if we were to jump into here and find one, it's actually 2%. And it's only 4 artifacts, which is really, really cool. So there is a massive bonus to upgrading the earlier stuff before you move on to the later content. So that is very, very important, because I think a lot of people are going to mentally be like, the newest content is always the best content. It's not. Then again, you can pull the newest content, and that's absolutely fine. And, you know, pick these up and level these up using the stones from there. So, two different things. You do want to level up the Dark Moon Forest stuff first, specifically the damage stats. You don't want attack, because attack isn't going to give you as much damage, believe it or not. Like, a raw 2% damage buff is way better than a even 2% attack buff. So, only getting 1% feels quite bad here, actually. So once you've done Dark Moon Forest, I would come to Atra Volcano and do the same. So as you can see, I've already started. I've got the damage dealt 2% here. I've got almost the damage dealt 2% here. We've got the first 9. I would sort of take them all up to 7 first. And then sort of go from there. So as you can see, there is one more for me to grab. Pretty sure there's only one more for me to grab in that one. An honourable mention is the Others tab. So, if you're a bit of a whale, this is more aimed at whale DPSs, okay? And I think if you're sort of in Server 1 like I am, if you're at this point where I'm at as well, you probably are a bit of a whale. You probably are spending a little bit, especially on those paper crafts. you may be in this situation where you have some of these cool, like the other artifacts. So I can't remember if this one's completely free to play. You might, as a free to play, have been able to get this. If you have, there is 2% here, so it's always worth picking up. This artifact came from the Tasha's event last time, and this is a very good set of stats. You're going to be able to get your tactical skills. This might be one that it's actually worth investing in. As you can see, I'm personally on the sort of cusp of getting these two up, just to get that extra core skill damage. It is actually really worth it. So again, if you're going to, this might be one that's worth doing if you've whaled onto this, but this is more of a whale one, just as an honorable mention. As you can see, this is not going to be worth doing. It's just raw stats. I know raw stats, you know, can go a long way, but the raw stats on this just don't feel good enough for me to be whaling on. Although the individual item doesn't seem to feel too bad, so it is what it is. And then now we actually have a brand new one that's just come through. So this will be this will be next week's Tasha's event. There is a Tasha's event coming, I think it's next week. And it's going to have this. This might be worth picking up. If you can pick all these up, if you're a bit of a whale, probably do it. Because if I'm not wrong, each one of these, I mean, 1% attack, healing effect, you've got that one just doesn't feel too bad. And I think this is the main one, right, for DPS. So effectiveness at the start of battle increases artifact holders damage to monsters. Yeah, this is the main one, so you kind of do want the palm leaf fan. If you are going to whale, that's the one you want to grab. Although if you grab the whole set, you will get these nice little buffs. It makes a difference, a small difference. As I said though, for most of us, it's going to be just run through the earlier islands and get these damage ups. And when you get to Burning Towers, unfortunately, those ones don't feel as good, but it's going to be a while before we start maxing all of them, so, you know, no harm, no foul. Right, that is a very quick guide into which artifacts I would go for, and as a DPS go for. We could try and help the healers out, I guess. I guess if you're a healer or a DPS or a tank, you're probably going to prioritize the endurance ones. If we actually go back to the earlier islands, I am pretty sure there are ones that do endurance. Let's see. Nope, they do defense, so probably you take the defense one. Defense is probably decent. Increased healing would probably work for healers though, in all fairness. And I'll be honest, if you're a healer and you're not sub-speccing attack, you're doing it wrong. Like, attack is quite important for healers, so you'd go raw attack and increase healing effect, probably. So all of it kind of works for healers. I'm pretty sure in the later islands then, there is endurance. I'm 100% sure. There we go. Mastery and endurance. Might be worth picking up this endurance if you're a tank, because endurance is a big stat. It is capped at 25 though, if I'm not wrong. So I could be entirely wrong here, but endurance should be capped at 25%. It does mean you can get more than 25% endurance, but it's only effective up to 25%, if I'm not wrong. In fact, look at that. Yeah, reduces all damage taken, and even at my endurance, it's... yeah, I assume it's still 25%. So yeah, just worth noting that. That, by the way, a tank can correct me in the bottom below. I'm not going to claim to know all things tank. Boys, I just want to make a quick guide on how you should be doing your artifacts. I hope that helps some of you. If it doesn't, it is what it is. Go smash the like button anyway, and let me know in the comment section below what you want to see. Peace.